Welcome to Tack Talk. I'm your host, Nadirah Nazeer. After 20 years of exploring with both digital and visual art expressions, Evelyn Bailey is now using art as a language to communicate by using the traditional approach of painting on canvas, bringing a variety of beautiful experiences that leave lasting impression on her clients. Evaluation is a powerful experiential workshop that focuses on using art to create visual anchors while teaching self-awareness and connection to your vision. Through art, Evelyn has found a way to transfer information from the mind into reality and teaches these techniques. Mother of twin boys, she believes in bridging the gap between generations and finds value in the wisdom that comes out in art. Evelyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And I have to say, I read about you, and it's really great about what you're doing with art.
Thank you.
Right? And we are displaying a beautiful art here from Evelyn, and that you'll tell us in a bit what inspires you. But first, tell us about your journey, about how art helps you be who you are today.
Well, thank you so much, Nadirah. It's just a pleasure to be here and to be able to now get this sort of what was once just me being expressive in art is now becoming tools that I can actually share with other people, so that the quality of their life improves. And so what I mean when I say quality of life improving is that through art and throughout my entire life, art became something that actually was a focus for me. It became not specifically the craft, but it allowed me to see possibilities that I wanted to create in my sort of imagination life. And as a child, that play never left. So when it started to get, when difficult times do come around and we're looking for, options and solutions to any problem we have, what I find is that art has always been my creative play, and the same creativity that comes to me through the process of art now comes up for me in life in a playful way where, like, this is a cliche saying, but like the life is my canvas, and everything I actually put into there comes, it manifests. But also, when I see the outcome of what I want, I'm able to get that just because art gives me the ability to just see it. So yeah, it's really...
So let's talk a little bit about that. I know you and I was talking yesterday, and you told me about how it helps individuals to bring their vision to life, right? I'm not a great artist, and people will find that out later, so we're going to try to do a little bit of painting, so stay tuned for that. So Evelyn's going to guide me through that painting. I'm not as great as you are. But how does one kind of create that vision through painting?
Well, that's a great question, because so many times people don't understand the connection. And I'll give you an example. So when I got to a place in my life where I decided I wanted to be a personal trainer, I got into, understanding the anatomy as an artist. I thought I would be able to really share with others what's going on inside their body by showing them anatomy. Now, it was funny that there was parallels that were starting to happen in my life and with what I was able to draw. So when I would draw the anatomy for people, I found that there are certain parts of my body that I couldn't actually draw. Like, I didn't know how the shoulder muscles looked. So when I got to the person's chest and I got to their shoulder muscles to show them the muscles we want to flex, it became interesting that I would get stuck. And I actually realized I don't really know how to guide them because I don't know what it is that I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm going for, because I don't even know what it really looks like. And so that became a huge awareness, like epiphany for me, where I realized if I can't see it in my mind, it's because I actually don't understand it. And the only way to really know what's going on in my mind is to draw it out and to say, hey, can I actually transfer what's going on in my brain onto a piece of paper so I can see where my thoughts are at? And so that's where it became something of just being aware of what's in your mind just by seeing what comes out on paper. And so that has become like a whole, as you mentioned earlier, which we'll talk about a bit after, but that concept alone has really allowed me to be able to find a way to offer people insight to their own mind. And then through the connection they make, a whole bunch of other doors open into who they are because they're starting to see that directly on the paper or onto a canvas. So there's no hiding who you are.
True. And we are all familiar with write down your feelings, write down your vision, write down what you're looking for. Now we're talking about something very different, which is draw out your vision.
Yes.
Right? So for people out there who are like me, who are not painters, what's that process look like? Like, how did you do it, and how can one at home try to achieve and do the same thing?
So there's many layers that I could answer that question, but what I really want people to understand is that when you're writing something down, you're choosing vocabulary that has been pre-created for you to use, so that you're expressing something that we all will all understand, because we've all been taught what it means and how to communicate that idea. That idea. Now, when we're communicating our words and our feelings, sometimes there are no words that can describe what we're feeling. And that's where art has, because there's no letter attached to the expression, there's no word, there's no set, like, you know, macro movement, you're actually putting your entire body energy into an expression in front of you, so that you start to see now beyond what you would write about if you're in your mind, because writing still comes sometimes from a place of the mind instead of from the heart. So if you really want to know what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what you want in your life, the act of art actually gets you closer to seeing that, because you're starting to see exactly who you are. Now, how do you take that in everyday practice and get better? Well, especially through different workshops that I do, or just instructions to do at home, it's just paying attention to your environment. So looking at the things around you, noticing the details, just for the sake of noticing it, because then that moment comes where you close your eyes and you want to picture something. You know what you've drawn from some of the things you've seen, and you put it in your mind as, this would be the perfect thing for me, because I liked this color from that and this from that, and so you, in your mind, create an image. Or it's just like when you lose your keys. If you can go into your mind and remember the last thing that you did, sometimes it's the details and those things that you think of that help you find the key, like that milestone, that image, that something that you saw. So again, it's noticing the details, that when you close your eyes and you think of your vision, if you lack observation, then you'll lack a vision. That's just because that's just the truth about creation. So in order to explore your vision, you really have to just start with your own house and notice the things in your home. Notice where things are placed. Notice if the flowers are alive or dead. Notice if they look happy or not. Notice how they get when the winter comes around. You know, notice where things sit, and then notice also, how you feel.
Yes, how you feel about them, because you were talking earlier with my makeup artist, Mindy Baji, and then you say whenever you're connecting with anything, check in with yourself as to how are you feeling about it.
Yes.
Which is a big thing, right?
Yes.
So how you feel about it is then what you put on that piece of paper.
Exactly. Exactly. And so art allows you to just check yourself, because what you're doing is you're being raw and you're saying, this is who I am. And then what you can do with that art piece, or that creative doodle, or that master doodle piece, or perfect drawing, whatever your outcome was, when you look back, you can actually say, where was I in that moment? Because your feelings are displayed on your canvas. You can see the red that shows passion and just anxiety, like anxiety almost. Passion or anxiety, it's an energy, but it's infused with red. You can see when you choose blue that you were in a place of, you know, when you understand the energy systems, you can dissect your work as being a self-reflective experience. And so, yeah.
So what I wanted to do, I do have a question for you, because a lot of people say, what if I don't know what I want? I have no idea what I want. I don't have any vision. So that's going to be my next question, but we're going to take a quick break. But I just want to say this. Today, I changed the set. It's yellow, and you inspired me to put yellow, because I wanted to up my game a little bit, because it was very kind of artistic.
Yes.
So we've decided to go with a yellow chair. But I have to say, I like the yellow chair. I might just keep it for future shows.
Yeah, and it feels good to be in them. So I think at the end, we tie it into how we feel, and we're good.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Evelyn Bailey.
Combine a love and passion for food with authentic Mediterranean flavors. Add a touch of warmth and relaxation, and you'll have the best dining experience at Al Fawwal Restaurant. Located in the heart of Mississauga at 2273 Dundas Street West. Bring your loved ones and reward your appetite to an exquisite halal-prepared menu. Our secret ingredient is just a hinge of love. Each plate prepared with care, creating a universal piece of art. Make every bite a memorable moment with Al Fawwal Restaurant.
Welcome back, everybody. I am here with Evelyn Bailey. Before we went on a break, I wanted to ask the question, what if somebody doesn't know their purpose? How do you draw it if you don't know what you want?
Yeah. Well, the answer to that is really not for me to answer for anyone. But in order to get a sense of what your purpose is, it's also when we said we go back into those feelings. And so when you're doing something, especially when you're creating, I find that you start to feel a certain way about something. And those emotional indicators start to really identify what you like and what you don't like in general. So when you're finding your sense of purpose, I think it's important to always, when you check in, to go and say, okay, these are the things that make me feel good. These are the things that don't. And then as you start to explore, you'll start to lean towards the things that make you feel good. And then that sort of peace of mind, open-minded, creative imagination that's sort of waiting to be used starts to actually take from the experiences that you've had, which is your beliefs, and then draws into this sort of imagination world where now you start to think of possibilities. So possibilities come when you're aware of what it is that you like and what it is that you're aware of what you don't like. But then there's a whole depth to that in psychology that's not my specialty, as to understanding why is it that you don't like something and what beliefs behind something that you see establish why you like it or not. So it's still one of those things where in our minds are very easily overtaken. They easily overtake how we think we want something to be. But when you tap into your emotions, when you tune into who you are, when you tune into the things that you like, you always have those indicators that will help you find your purpose. So that's what you're using. You don't have to figure it out just yet, but at least know that it will come when you allow yourself to be open to using your imagination. And so with art, and how art sometimes can help you find a purpose, well, just the simple act alone of art, it allows you to stay in a feeling where hopefully you associate the feeling good emotions. If not, you understand why you don't feel that good, about what is it that you're doing that is causing you to feel this way. But more importantly, it's just opening up the channels in your brain that allow you to think outside the box. So when you think outside the box, you find meaning. When you think inside the box, you'll feel always stuck, which is what a lot of people feel. Which stuck is not even a real thing, but nonetheless, because you're still always going to move towards something, but it just may be the same thing over and over. So you're never stuck, you're always just moving in the same direction, either somewhere closer, or you shift that. And the only way you can shift a sense of what is your purpose is to shift the way your mind actually thinks and registers anything. So art can actually do that and help you sort of get that.
So to summarize it for our viewers out there, so always go with your feelings, because you know if you like something, if you don't like something. So even though you don't know what your purpose is, or your vision is, or what is it that you want, start with just what you like today or what you don't like today, right? And then you will know how you feel about it, right? So check in with yourself, with your feelings every time you're doing something and you're putting something on the canvas. Yeah, I like this color, or I don't like this drawings or this color or this shape. So go with that, and eventually you'll get to more to what you like.
Yes.
So that'll be my takeaway.
Yes.
So talking about that, I want to talk about this painting and the inspiration for this painting.
Yes, thank you. Ultimately, this one is the actual Evolution painting. It was created for a workshop that I have sort of that manifested from sharing the process of art with people so that we can see art as a tool instead of being a skill that you have to develop, because not everyone's, be honest, not everyone wants to be a famous artist, but everyone can use art as a tool for just creation in general. And so when this one started coming, I really started going with, I didn't have a vision, to be honest, when I went with this. I went with what is going to be the best representation of evolving. And what I really feel at the end of the day is with the Evolution workshop, what I aim to create is like you're expanding your consciousness. You're expanding what you know about the world, because you're opening up a different part of your brain to perceive the world. So you're expanding. And the way to expand is when you're actually using both the right brain and the left brain hemisphere. I feel that when the two start to intertwine, your brain expands and your body expands, because your feelings expand. I mean, everything is sort of going outwards because you're making these connections. And so Evolution, it started off as a relationship mastery workshop that I wanted couples to see what's going on in each other's mind and just work from there. Once you see what's going on in each other's mind, you either see if you have the same vision, or you can see what their vision is and what their vision is, and you'll understand why when you're talking about what you want, you'll understand why this person is not saying anything that's in your list of what you want, because you see what they want. Evolution helps you see that, self-awareness for couples. So the painting started evolving from just a duality of a relationship, a couple, a male and a female. But then as it started to evolve, this painting, if I show you the time lapse, I'll send it to you. The time lapse has such a variety of different stages that this was at. At one point it had wings, red fiery wings, and it had blue, green, and wings, and all these. And then there's spirals that came this way out of the hearts, like big ovals, and it changed so many times because that is the process of life. It changes. You just give it time and it will eventually evolve. You just got to stick with it. So as it started to become, you know, it ended up morphing into just two energies, masculine and feminine, because that's where I feel that when the brain is active, it's using both the masculine and the feminine energies. You get a sense of just empowerment because you find balance. And so as balance starts to kick in, you have this harmonious relationship, and it also became a powerful mastermind between two people who are seeing into a different space because of the use of art, is really expanding their vision. So when two minds get together, the mind expands into the third mind. That's a mastermind. So I realized that couples could mastermind their lives if they actually use these tools and apply them to see what's going on in each other's mind. Then the next layer of depth that this got to is that as I started to create this, like I kept returning to it, but then I started feeling this.
It kind of levitating,
yes.
and that's kind of the ocean from, is that supposed to be an
a lot
ocean?
It's natural energy. It's
okay.
an ocean of nature ultimately. And so it's things that are moving because energy is moving. But what it started to happen was, and this is, I'm actually going to be adding to this painting, believe it or not, because there's still another layer to this but I want people to sit with this one because this is where we're at. Okay. We're in seeing the physical two bodies of people working together in a mastermind harmony.
So you actually add to this painting?
I will be adding to it because I want to share the next layer of depth, which is, and I get so excited when I share it because I see it and I know that I can't wait to bring it forth for people to see. But like I said, I'm showing people where we're at as human beings, seeing physical things and understanding seeing is believing. But if I was to share what's coming, which I will now, is that what this really becomes is two, if you look at the brain from the top view, yes, you're getting two hemispheres. You have this one and you have that one. So you have these two hemispheres that actually are working in this sort of infinity loop, which is a spiral of infinite possibilities or energy. And then with this infinity loop, what you have is you actually have the emergence of the left and the right brain hemispheres. This becomes a brain. So this is actually going to evolve into a brain. Nice. And that's why I see it. You see the outside shape. You see that the female and the male are representing feminine and masculine energy. The balance between the two is finding the harmony between what your full brain function needs is balance. So that's kind of where it came, and so that's deep. I don't know if you put that in there. You might cut that out.
No. So what is interesting, in the next segment, we're actually going to do a painting. I'll be doing a painting with the help of Evelyn here. But I can guarantee you this is not the outcome, and I'm setting my expectation like way down here. But this is absolutely beautiful. But before we break, I want to talk about this calendar. Can you tell me a little bit about this calendar?
Absolutely. So this is the Evolution calendar, and the cover actually has the famous Napoleon Hill, which he wrote whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And it says it can, not will. There's laws that you must follow. So this book helps people to infuse the laws of his teachings with a positive mental attitude, and has also become an accumulation of all of the community leaders in our community who are doing incredible things, many of whom have been interviewed with you, are actually featured in the calendar. And so each month is a personalized painting that I've actually created, whether in person or for our community. And it symbolizes the theme and the modality of the month according to the cosmos. So yeah, there's some green there, but the cosmos are basically what's going on in the universe has a huge effect on us. It's the laws of the universe really affecting us. And so this calendar really helps you to align to what is going on in the world on an energetic basis. And how do we fall into its effect? When you understand the effect, you understand what intention you can set for the month, which we give you a description. Each month there's a sentence. Yes. You might see a close-up after. Each month there's a sentence that's it's the instruction for the month. So it tells you what to focus on, and it's a very intentional calendar. Yeah, and we have the Evolution calendar is also painting is also featured actually during a time where this is where it's all about relationship collaborations. And so it's again, it supports the theme for the month so that you know what is your call to action, how do you get there, and what are the positive things that you could be thinking about that are going to help you achieve your goals.
And I just want to say, they can't really see it, but what you see, those little dots here, is actually different classes and courses that people can take that through the Soul Family that they have. And if people want this calendar and want to see what's happening, what's going on, where can they go to get this calendar?
They can ultimately connect with me on Facebook. It's such an intentional calendar that I really, I make a point of really wanting to break it down and show you what the intention is, so you almost know how to use it. But Facebook, Evelyn Bailey Art. And then through there, I can accept an e-transfer or hopefully meet you in person, because I'm at all these events, and they're only $20, which is for 13 original prints, which is a pretty amazing, because I've, from the heart, created this within community, and I feel that it belongs to the community. And yeah, you get 13 original prints, which you can't get any better than that.
And also a lot of different classes and courses that's happening throughout the year.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, Evelyn Bailey
Bailey
Art,
yes,
on Facebook for you to order your calendar, which has great information and some really amazing painting. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Combine a love and passion for food with authentic Mediterranean flavors. Add a touch of warmth and relaxation, and you'll have the best dining experience at Alpha Wall Restaurant. Located in the heart of Mississauga at 2273 Dundas Street West. Bring your loved ones and reward your appetite to an exquisite halal-prepared menu. Our secret ingredient is just a hinge of love. Each plate prepared with care, creating a universal piece of art. Make every bite a memorable moment with Alpha Wall Restaurant.
Welcome back, everyone. I am here with Evelyn Bailey. Are you guys ready to draw your vision and purpose? I think I am, with the help of Evelyn, who is a professional and guru about it. If you take a look over here, we have a very blank canvas. So with this blank canvas, Evelyn's going to walk us through some of the steps that you guys can do at home to try to get that creative juices going and also help you put your vision on painting. Instead of just writing about it, we'll paint about it. So Evelyn, I did do a painting once with my son. It was 2 years ago. It was okay. I think it's okay, but it is being hung in my house, which is nice.
Beautiful.
One other thing that I did notice, I'm a very structured person because I come from corporate. I have a corporate background. And that is reflected, is actually in my painting. Everything is very structured. So hopefully today I can kind of let go a little bit more and explore those different sides of me.
Amazing.
So walk us through what we should be doing.
Yes, Nadirah. So it's, you know, such an honor to be here to show you what simple tools you can actually use and apply within your home and for yourself. And number one, I just want to say I love the fact that you paint with your son the last time you did it, because if there's anything that I believe is that children need to see their parents in order for them to believe that it's something that they can do as well. So the fact that you got out there and you did, you know, went outside the box, your comfort zone, is amazing. But what you're seeing is a self-reflection of the type of, you know, energy that you had, which is very structured, and which probably meant that you were very much in your mind when you did your painting, which is fine because it happens to a lot of people. And actually, there was so many years that I did just mindful art where I was very specifically including my ego in the outcome because I wanted the outcome to be perfect. So here today, we're not going for a perfect outcome because we really want the mind to get out of itself. You want to get out of your mind and you really want to go from a place of your heart. When you're in your heart, what I find is that you anchor the emotions necessary to stay true and to stick with that feeling of knowing what it is that you want, and at least knowing what the outcome, because as you paint, you're going to get mixed feelings. You're going to find yourself moving in a different direction, but you're never going to forget the feeling that you're going for. So it's always going to be your compass of coming back. So
let's move out of the head into the heart, which I'm going to try my best to do today.
Yes.
So where do I start? Do I pick a color, or do I look at the colors there that you have on the palette and see which one I gravitate towards?
Well, I want to give you an answer right away, but I do want to say that before you get to this process, there's so much more that comes before it. And I don't want to go without acknowledging what comes before it, because that's a good question, is what colors do you pick up? What is the first step to take? And that always comes with a feeling as well. And what you really got to tune into that feeling. So I start with playing music. I always start a paint, like any painting that I do, I start with music in the background, just kind of get my body going. And then I start to use my, you want to get out of your heart. So as you start to think about what do you want in the next week of your life, or even if you want to take it to the big vision of your purpose, as you start to think of these things and really see it in your mind, this is where you start to build up those feelings, those emotions that are going to start to sort of pull at your heartstrings, so that when you're in a state where you're very anchored, you know what you kind of, you know, you want this outcome of a feeling in your life, what you're going to do is you're going to take that vision and you're going to just throw it away. You're going to throw it up into that space above you. You're going to lose sight of the details because you're not actually going to create details on this canvas. I will let you know, this isn't going to be one of those where you get so specifically caught up into the details, because you won't really get the outcome you want, because you have to become very good if you want a specific outcome. And that's where you build a specialized skill. But for the sake of the everyday average person who just wants to go home and create something in their backyard, well, if it's the summer, in their home or around their children, you're really just trying to think of the intention of what you want in your outcome of your life. And then that intention in some way will go into the painting, no matter what you do. No matter whether you're doing lines or straight shapes or circles or a perfect bird, you're infusing the intention behind every brushstroke. And that's where you're actually bringing that power and the magic of that idea into the reality, because that's what you're going to see.
Absolutely.
So,
and for me right now, what I'm feeling, just because maybe it's cold outside, I feel like colors. I feel like colors brings a lot of joy.
Yes.
And I know we're trying to speed things up because it's a 30-minute show that we're trying to do. Something that takes probably a half-day workshop. We're going to try to condense it and do it within 10 minutes here.
Yes. Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick example of how to get started, because I find that seeing is believing. So instead of telling you, you'll get too much in your head and you'll be like, what was that?
Yeah, I'm already thinking,
You're
what am I
already
going to do?
thinking,
Am I going to do lines? Am I going to do circles?
I'm going to make this so easy that all you have to do is see what I do, and then you're going to do it too. So I'm feeling great right now. I feel, you know, there's a lot of colors around. You're right, it's cold outside. And so I'm going to tap into a feeling that I want. And I'm going to show you a quick sample. It's going to take me about a minute to get you understanding where to go. And then we're going to let you join in. And we're both just kind of going to finish what we're starting and setting our intentions. So after I've set my intention, I know, you know, God, I love creativity. I love art. And I love, you know, magical worlds, whatever it may be. So now that that thought's there, I'm going to go and choose a color. So I'm going to just, normally you can just have some paints on simply disposable paper, which let's not go to this much the disposable route, environmentally friendly, but I'm going to choose purple. And although you don't see purple, I'm going to mix purple, and then I'm going to start with my colors here. So Nadirah, this is very easy, okay? We're going to start with a simple choice of color. And what I'm going to do is, from the center of this canvas, is just actually create what looks like a beautiful just spiral. So I'm going to create this circle. The colors are going to sort of come do their own thing. Start with this, and I know I said purple, but I just realized I want to start with blue, because I will get it to the purple. So as I start to do this beautiful, like, it's just energy. Here you're just kind of getting it out. You're going to start to create some different shapes based off this circle. And when you're ready, you can actually start bringing in some of the purple on the outside. So you can start to bring some of that purple on the outside. You can add some of it in the middle there as well, but you just want to keep expanding this color. So whatever colors you choose, Nadirah, you're going to go in a circle.
Is there a reason why circle?
The outcome is, yes. Basically, when you create this circle, as you can start to see, doesn't it look like almost like a portal?
It does.
It almost looks like you can be looking up at the sun from the ground. You could be looking into the depth of the water. You can be looking into another dimension. So it's almost like you're creating a window to that vision, a window to that purpose that you want, a window to who you want to be. You may not have the exact outcome of who you want to be in an image, but you're going to see that this is the portal to that person. Okay.
So shall I start?
Yes.
And then to the TV magic here, we're going to take a quick break, and then you'll see the final result. So, but I'll get started.
Yes.
So should I pick any brushes
I would choose
here?
any brush, and then you can choose whatever color you feel. I'll hold this for you. And then
actually, I felt like you can probably do yours too. Maybe I think that's going to inspire me as you do yours, Evelyn. So I'm thinking yellow. I love yellow. Yellow is one of my favorite color. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing yellow, right?
Nice. Already I see that structure going away. That structure's fluttering off into the left brain. And
yeah, it does feel great though, I have to say, absolutely great. So I'm going to do a little bit. So when I was growing up, yellow and purple was my favorite color.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I used to have a dress that's both yellow and purple.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
I guess I'm not putting enough.
White. Add some white to it.
Add some white to it to get the purple? Okay.
Well, what it will do is it'll also help you spread this paint, and then you can do a second layer afterwards with the purple. But because you did put, you actually put blue and green and yellow together, you're mixing also green in there.
Oh, that's why I'm getting green. Okay.
You're getting green because you've added yellow and blue, so the green's going to disappear. But already you can sort of feel that portal. You can feel things opening up.
I do.
And this is where you just get lost. You just do whatever you want. Yeah, there's no right or wrong here. The best thing about acrylic is that it dries and you have the option to go over and redo it over and over and over again.
At any given time, perfect. And this feels really great. I have to say, this really feels great about just painting on a white canvas and then kind of see at the end of the day what comes out of it. And voila, folks, from the magic of TV. And this is the painting we did. Here are the paintings. I have to admit, there was a little bit of technical difficulties because I started doing green, which meant that it created like a portal. Like Shivam said, created a portal to another universe where we can see the background. So with the help of Evelyn, she helped me finish this. So I did maybe 80% of it, and then Evelyn helped me out finish the rest of the 20%.
Yes. Knowing color theory, I just helped her choose the color that would cover up the portal.
And the different dimension as well too. So thank you so much. So this is the end of the work. So please, at home, you should definitely try painting. And it does take time. So we actually took maybe 30 minutes or so here in between to just kind of create that. And imagine how much more you can do if you literally take time. And I know Evolution is a workshop that you host. How can people get information on that?
So you can find Evolution. If you find me on Facebook, I do have a link. There's an Eventbrite link that I send out to everyone, as well as the video, so you can see what it is that we sort of do. And ultimately, the painting is really the last part of Evolution. We take you through a series of different art processes to help you anchor this concept of a vision that we then infuse just onto a simple painting that is easy, fun, and something that's still appealing so you can take it home. But Evolution, you can find it on Evelyn Bailey Art for Facebook, and then through there introduce yourselves to me, and then I'd love to establish a bit of a relationship, and then we can go ahead and forward and send you an invitation to the actual event that comes up about a couple times a year. Before I do let you go, I will let you know that I do collaborate with a lot of other leaders, because I find that with creating a vision for what you want in your future, it's really important to have different parts of yourselves connected to your vision. And so I do work in collaboration with other studios, so you will find Evolution a part of other projects as well until we do the big one again, which is going to be coming up in a few months, so stay tuned.
All right, check out her Facebook and her Instagram. You'll be able to see it. Hopefully you'll post this as well too, the beautiful art that we created today. Evelyn, thank you so much for joining me today. I really liked it, and I have to say I probably should pick up a bit more painting. I absolutely love that process.
Yes.
Thank you so much
You're
for
very
coming.
Welcome. Did you find your structure went away?
It did. That is not structured at all. It did. So I started to get out of my head and into my heart, and that's what I did today, and I should do probably more of that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
And what I would like to do is thank my sponsor, Susie Tomasi. Her website is susieqjewels.com, and a portion of her proceeds goes to the Women's Shelter. And my wonderful makeup artist, Mindy Baji. Please subscribe to TAC TV, follow me on Instagram, and check out my website, nadirah.ca. Stay positive and start believing. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. This is like the most rawest form of connection that we could possibly have among each other. Art is the #1 language